Welcome to the October 10th, 2024 regular board meeting of the Banning Unified School District. The time is 5:30. Please be advised that a recording or broadcast of this meeting is being made at the direction of the board. Clerk Ruiz, please take roll.
Trustee Anguiano,
Present.
Trustee Martinez Lara,
Present.
Trustee Novales.
Present.
I myself am present. President Troutman,
Present.
please let the record reflect that we have a quorum.
Item 1.2, Pledge of Allegiance. We now invite our Cadet Corps to present the colors ahead of the Pledge of Allegiance.
Color guard. Up. Left. Face. Present. Colors.
Place your right hand over your heart. Ready? Begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Right. Face. Forward. March. Left. 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 Right. Right. Left. 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 Right. Right. One time. North. Forward. Up. Left. Face. Forward.
Thank you very much. So before we go to item 1.3, I just want to make a quick little announcement. If anyone would like to go to Panda Express in Beaumont to support our Avid Club at Nicolette, that would be greatly appreciated. 20% of the sales will be donated to Avid Club. Oh. Is it? Oh. Let's see. I'm told you need a code. Oh yeah, bring paper or flyer or show it on your smartphone. Pandaexpress.com or the app. Enter, excuse me, I'm sorry, 380983 in the fundraiser code box. Thank you. Oops. 380983 is the code. All right, item 1.3, adopt agenda. Are there any changes to the agenda?
No changes.
Are there any board requests to change the agenda? No. Do I have a motion and second to adopt the agenda as posted?
I move.
I second.
I have a motion from trustee Novales and a second from trustee Anguiano. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed say nay. Hearing none, the agenda is adopted with a 5-0 vote. Item 1.4, board recognition. I would like to invite Dr. Kazi Bush to the podium to introduce this evening's board recognition.
Good evening, President Troutman, distinguished members of the board, Superintendent Davis, and the Banning community. It is my distinct honor to share with you this evening that we have 3 schools in the Banning Unified School District who, based upon the application they submitted, which included several steps towards a tiered fidelity inventory to look at to what extent there are practices of positive behavior, intervention, and supports on their campus. This was a very tedious process. There were in our particular region, 10 over 500 applications, and we are very proud that 3 of our schools completed that process to be recognized at 2 of the highest levels. And so at this time, I would like to call forward our first school, which is Himmerling Elementary, who has received gold PBIS status. And Himmerling Elementary, if you could assemble yourselves perhaps right here. I do want to make sure that all of us have a chance to recognize all 3 of our schools together. And so thank you. You can get your beautiful banner organized. Our next school that has also achieved gold status, and they are actually not here because they are in Sacramento, getting some additional tips to help the rest of our schools complete a solid application, would be Nicollet Middle School, who has also achieved gold status. Excellent. And so we've got Nicollet, who's represented. And then last, but certainly not least, we have a school who achieved gold status last year. And again, gold is the second to the highest status. There's bronze, there's silver, there's gold, and there is platinum. And that school is New Horizons High School, the highest level. And I believe we have some placards for them.
And I count 3, 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. Good.
Congratulations all. Sorry. We good?
Test.
Test.
Good evening again.
Check. Go ahead and continue, I guess. Sorry about the echo.
Okay. Joining us from Central Elementary. We have two super awesome. Hernandez is going to join us, and we also have Noelia Soriano, who will also be joining us. Please come forward.
Good evening, can I start? Good evening, Board President Troutman, distinguished members of the board, Superintendent Davis, Davis, and members of the banding community. My name is Rich Hernandez, and I am a fifth grade student at Central Elementary School.
I'm Noelia Soriano, a fifth grade student in the dual immersion program.
We are excited to inform you about everything that is happening at Central. We first want to thank our principals, teachers, and staff for a fantastic first 9 weeks of school. We are thrilled to announce that our fifth graders can participate in electives. Our day is Thursday. Today was our first day. We had the choice of art, cadet corps, or orchestra. We will have that elective for 50 minutes weekly for the rest of the year. We are excited to announce that we had a Nothing But Cakes fundraiser for back to school night. They sold all 360 cakes, even the gluten-free ones. At the end, families were still asking to purchase cakes. We also had a pizza combo sale, and we sold out as well. Thank you, Central Families, for supporting us. We celebrated Hispanic Heritage Month with an assembly on September 27, 2024. Our upper grade dual language classes did a great job. Our primary classes will perform for the Cinco de Mayo assembly in May.
We're proud to say that our students love to come to school and our attendance has been 92.63%. Our goal is 96% or higher. We participated in 2 district attendance days, Silly Hair Day and Sports Jersey Day. All students who participated received a prize. For September, our 3rd grade students had the highest attendance, 93.87, and they will be served Domino's pizza one day during lunch. We also had a successful First Saturday Academy. Our theme was Fall into our First Saturday School. Every student who attended received a fall cookie with their lunch. We had 100 students attend. Go Ponies! We have great activities planned such as Red Ribbon Assembly, Fall Festival, Great American Shakeout, and Spirit Days, and Costume Parade all in October. The Veterans Day Assembly, the Morongo Tribe Assembly during Native American Month in November, and our winter concert in December. Our 5th grade students will be going to SoFi Stadium again this year and will be allowed to go on the field. They couldn't go on the field last year. Finally, we would like to give a big thank you to all the teachers and staff for Central Elementary. You're awesome. Thank you for showing up every day to help us reach our goals. Central Ponies, always remember that Central Ponies are avid, always prepared, very respectful, intentionally safe, determined, and responsible. Siempre preparado, muy respetuoso, intencionalmente cuidadoso y decidido responsable. Thank you, gracias, yes, and good night.
Thank you, Richie and Noelle. Coming up from Nicollet Middle School, representing their ASB, is Caitlin Yang.
Good evening, Board President Troutman, distinguishing members of the board, Superintendent Davis, and the member of the Banning communities. My name is Caitlin Yang, and I am Nicollet Middle School's 8th grade class president. I'm here to update you on recent and upcoming events at Nicollet Middle School. First, let's start off with our September Scholars of the Month. In 6th grade, we recognize Angelique Gonzalez, Tahare Hendon, Elena Jacobo, and Itzel Robles Gonzalez for their outstanding achievements. And for 7th grade, we have Emily Erida, George Hurtado, Nathaniel Lopez, and Kitania Ramos. I don't know how to say her last name. Finally, in 8th grade, we applaud Danya Burnell, Bianca Reza, Kiana, Karina Sarabia Perez, and Britton Rimberly. Congratulations to our Scholars of the Month for their hard work and dedication. Moving on, I'd like to highlight the exciting work for our MESA class, which stands for Math, Engineering, Science, and Achievements. Next week, they'll be submitting their roller coaster designs for their annual roller coaster design challenge. Hosted by our MESA affiliate, the University of California, Riverside, competing against over 14 other middle schools, our students have the chance to win a day at Disney's Imagination Campus. Their challenge is to design a gravity-fed coaster using recyclable materials, creating a track that can include loops, helixes, and other innovative components. So I ask you all, are ponies up or down for the challenge? Additionally, our ASB recently held its first pep rally to promote our positive behavioral interventions and supports, or PBIS. While energizing students for the school year, on October 14th, we celebrate our first Pack Track event with a large group of enthusiastic participants. To support end-of-the-year activities, ASB and leadership are selling braided red, and our first Spirit Week has engaged many students and staff members. This October, we will raise awareness for breast cancer by wearing pink every Friday. We're excited to announce that ASB and several clubs will present at the first annual Color Run on October 25th from 4 p.m. to 6, with gates opening at 3 p.m. for check-in. We will also represent NMS at the Harvest Festival on October 22nd. And mark your calendars. November 1st is our first dance. It will be themed Nightmare on Palomino Street, which promises to be a spooky and fun event. In sports news, our NMS boys slow pitch softball team is heading off to playoffs on October 17th. Let's show them our support. Cross country
will have its first meeting on Wednesday. This also, girls volleyball and flag football will kick off their first games on Halloween. And just a reminder, the NMS Athletic Club will soon begin their Seas Candy fundraiser, perfect for those holiday treats. Thank you for your attention, and I look forward to sharing more exciting updates as the school year progresses.
Thank you, Caitlin. Representing Coombs Alternative, Anna Phillips.
Good evening, Board President Troutman, distinguished members of the board, Superintendent Davis, and members of the Banning community. I am Anna Phillips from BIS and a proud member of the class of 2025. I am honored to be this year's Coombs student speaker sharing our district message, We Are Banning. Here are some of our highlights. Congratulations to Lizette Lavoie, the October Banning Beaumont Student of the Month for BIS. Another shout out to Nevaeh Hicks, September Student of the Month, who recently appeared as a guest on Banning Unified's Real Talk podcast. Tune in to hear her fun and insightful discussion with Mr. Terrence Davis, Superintendent, and Mr. Johnny Baker, Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources. Be sure to check out previous and upcoming episodes too. On October 29th, junior and senior students will take the ASVAB at Coombs. This test predicts future academic and occupational success. From October 23rd through the 31st, Coombs will celebrate Red Ribbon Week 2024. This year's theme is Life is a Movie, film drug-free. Stop by to see student dress-up days, a celebrity graveyard, a school-wide ofrenda, and Thor decorating contest winners. On October 31st, if you are brave enough and dare to chance it, tour New Horizons Drama Club's second annual Dawn of Darkness Haunted House. Upcoming events also include the Oregon Shakespeare Festival School Visit Program, held on November 5th in our own Banning High School Performing Arts Center. These live performances, talkbacks, and workshops hosted by professional actors are all designed to entertain and educate our Coombs and Banning High's theater and English students. This is a collaborative effort. Mr. W., New Horizons English Theater instructor, Mr. Prisk, Banning High School Theater and English instructor, and Ms. Griffey, the CTE Performing Arts instructor, are working together to host this event. This very special program. This event was made possible through the generosity of both the Oregon Shakespeare Festival and the San Gregorio Educational Foundation. Thank you for allowing me to share our Coombs Alternative Report with you.
Thank you, Anna. And last but not least, representing Banning High School, ASB President Gisela Martin.
Good evening, Board President Troutman, distinguished members of the board, Superintendent Davis, and members of the Banning community. My name is Gisela Martin, and I am this year's ASB president. I am grateful for the opportunity to stand before you and provide you with the highlights from the school year. Our fun events. We recently celebrated an incredible food fest that brought our community together in a delicious way. This event provided a wonderful opportunity for clubs to raise funds while showcasing the amazing variety of cuisines available. From savory dishes to sweet treats, there was something for everybody to enjoy. Students had a fantastic time tasting different flavors and supporting their peers. In addition to the food fest, our ASB team generously provided snacks for all ASB cardholders, ensuring everyone had a delightful experience. We're excited to announce our plans to hold a monthly event for ASB students to keep the energy and spirit alive throughout the year. Our athletic teams are excelling this season. The girls' flag football team continues to impress with their outstanding performance, making us all proud. Our football team is also doing extremely well, and we invite everyone to come out and support them at their upcoming home game on October 17th, 2024. Don't forget to wear pink to show your support for breast cancer awareness. Additionally, our cross-country, tennis, and golf teams are representing Banning excellently. showcasing their talents and hard work. We are thrilled to see their dedication pay off. Our upcoming events. Mark your calendars for our upcoming senior assembly. This important event will provide crucial information about caps and gowns, ensuring our seniors are well prepared for graduation. We are also looking forward to the candlelight ceremony hosted by National Honor Society, which promises to be a meaningful and reflective gathering. Lastly, don't miss out on the College and Career Fair, a fantastic opportunity for students to explore their future paths and connect with potential colleges and employers. We are thrilled to reflect on the success of our first homecoming dance, which had an incredible turnout. The Western theme truly represented our hometown spirit, making it a memorable evening for all. Thank you for all your time today. I look forward to speaking with you about future events and how we can continue to support our students and enhance our school environment. Thank you.
Thank you, Gisela, and that concludes our student remarks for the evening.
Thank you very much. Item 1.6, student board member comments. Brian Calderon. We will now hear from our student board member.
Okay. All right. Good evening, President Troutman, Superintendent Davis, and the distinguished members of the board. I'd like to take a moment to reflect on how remarkable our homecoming dance was this year. The event was a huge success, filled with energy, laughter, and sense of togetherness that truly reflects the spirit of our school community. From the stunning decorations to the music that kept everyone on their feet, it was clear that a lot of hard work went into making it a night to remember. I want to personally thank the student council, faculty, and volunteers who dedicated their time and effort to create such a memorable experience for us all. Your commitment and enthusiasm are truly appreciated. On another note, I am thrilled to announce that the upcoming launch of a new club designed to support our non-English speaking students as well. As we all know, language can sometimes be a barrier to connection and learning. This club will provide a welcoming and supportive environment where students can practice and improve their English skills, allowing them to feel more confident in both academic and social settings. The goal is to foster a community where everyone feels included and empowered, regardless of their first language. We believe this initiative will not only benefit the students involved, but also enrich the cultural diversity that makes our school so unique. We are working to finalize the details, and we hope to launch the club in the coming weeks. I encourage anyone interested to keep an eye out for announcements and to spread the word to those who might benefit from this opportunity. Together, we can ensure that every student feels like they belong and has the tools they need to succeed. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. Item 1.7, opportunity for community comments, closed session items. Did we receive any other community comments? Let's see. So I'd like to invite up Lawrence Hardy to the podium.
Hello, board president, cabinet, community administrators, families. My name is Lawrence Hardy. I was trying to rush to get here off of work and I made it on time. So I'm here today because I consider myself a community mentor in the community. I'm a coach. I'm a father myself of 3 lovely children, educator for secondary level for the last 15 years. I'm really big on equity. I recently went to the RCOE's Department of Equity conference. And one thing I'm about is representation. So there's 2 different resources that I would love to work with Banning Unified School District and just trying to highlight our students. One of our productions that I do is called a Black History Experience. So pretty much we talk about the history of African-American history from the early 1300s till today. So it's an experience that students are included, K through 12. It's a lot of music, fun, dance. It's educational, engaging, and inspiring for our scholars. So that's one resource that I would love to work with the district to put together here in Benning across our schools here out here. Another opportunity, I mentor students. I'm a coach. I've been coaching out here in the city of Benning for the last 15 plus years. I'm a member of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. We have a 6-week workshop program where we talk to students about important topics such as finding their gifts, their strengths, building positive relationships with faculty and staff and peers on campus, surviving social media, financial literacy 101, and also entrepreneurship, and also dealing with family and mental health issues as well. So that's another resource that I would love to work with our Banning community and bring it to our students. I'm all about representations, and I know that you guys have a mission and model is making sure, you know, our students feel included across the district. So I would love the opportunity to work with you guys, and that's all I want to share. So thank you. That's my time.
Thank you very much. Are there any other persons that would like to come up and comment? Nope. Okay. Item 2, closed session. The board will now go into closed session. The time,
There was one raised hand.
oh, I'm sorry.
Good evening, board. My name is Derek. I'm with Livestream Blood Bank, and I'm here today because I apologize, it's my first time doing this. So I'm with Livestream Blood Bank. We're a nonprofit organization, and our goal, our model is basically we partner with businesses and schools to basically get donations in regards to donations for blood. I'm here today because I'm reaching out to get some guidance or assistance or a point of contact to get a partnership with Banning High School. We've had that partnership in the past. And what we require this time around, or what the school is requiring in order for the school to be able to host a blood drive, is a agreement approval agreement with the school. And it does need to be signed with the board. So I'm here today to get some guidance in regards to that. We did have agreement in the past, and it was signed in the past by Terrence Davis, so I'm looking to get some guidance in finding out how we can continue that partnership. Congratulations to those schools that were recognized today and those students. That's really awesome. And we do have some future blood drives coming up with Banning High School. So if I can get some information or any type of guidance, it would help me a lot to go ahead and coordinate that with the high school. And I appreciate your guys' time. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Can we get him that information? Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Item 2, the board will now go into closed session. The time is 6:04. Item 3, open session. We are back from closed session. The time is 7:36. Clerk Ruiz, please take roll.
Trustee Anguiano,
Present?
trustee Martinez Laura,
Present?
trustee Novales.
Present.
I am present. President Troutman,
Present.
please let the record reflect that we have a quorum.
Item 3.1, report from closed session. Clerk Ruiz, please share.
Item 2.1, in closed session, the board received information and was updated. Item 2.2, in closed session, the board received information and was updated. Item 2.3, in closed session, the board received information and was updated. Item 2.4, in closed session, the board received information and voted on the following. In closed session, the Board of Education approved the appointment of Timothy Worthington for Director of Special Education. Motion was made by President Troutman, seconded by Trustee Anguiano, and carried on a 5-0 vote.
No? Okay, there it is. Now it's on. Now we got action. Good evening, President Troutman, Clerk Ruiz, distinguished board members, Superintendent Davis, Cabinet, and community. On behalf of the Banning Unified School District Board of Trustees and Superintendent Davis, we are excited to announce Timothy Worthington as Director of Special Education for the Banning Unified School District. Mr. Worthington has over 28 years in education experience. 7 of those were as a classroom teacher, and the rest were as an administrator for the Riverside County Office of Education in alternative education programs. Mr. Worthington received his Bachelor's of Arts in Psychology from the University of California at Riverside. He earned his Master's of Arts in Education in School Administration at Azusa Pacific University. Please join us in welcoming Timothy Worthington as the Special Education Director for the Banning Unified School District.
President Troutman, Superintendent Davis, Cabinet, esteemed board members, the community, fellow administrators and teachers, and support staff that encouraged me to apply for this position. I want to thank everybody. I mean, I am truly pleased to be in this position to help Banning Unified and all its constituents. I talked over the summer about experience. I can't wait to put my experience to help our staff and students and families have a different experience with us in the future. So thank you very much.
Congratulations, Mr. Worthington. Item 3.2, opportunity for community comments. Have we received any community comments?
No comments.
No. Are there any comments now that anyone would like to make? Okay. Item 3.3, BTA comments. I would like to welcome BTA President Anthony Garcia.
Good evening, everyone. First of all, I just want to congratulate Mr. Worthington on his new position. Second, thank the district for our new TAs. It was rough this year. Took a lot longer than usual, but we finally came to an agreement. It took a lot of give and take on both sides, but we're happy with it. Next year, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. The whole contract is open next year, so hopefully we can get started a little earlier. And that's it. Thank you.
Item 3.4, CSEA comments. I would like to welcome CSEA President Jennifer Serrano. Is she online? Yes.
Hi, Jennifer, can you hear us? Put her hand up. Jennifer, can you hear us?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear her now. We need to get her up on the other. Jennifer, can you speak up?
Yes, I can. Good evening. My name is Jennifer Serrano. I'm the president of Banning Chapter 147 of the California School of Police Association. I would like to say welcome to Mr. Worthington in his new position. It's kind of near and dear to my heart since I work for the department and this will be my new director. So welcome. Looking forward to working with you. We're pretty busy. Get ready. Second of all, I would like to say thank you to the district and the Board of Trustees. We concluded as well with our negotiations this year. As you know, I asked for parity with what the certificated got, and we also received, and some button-up language in our contract. We're very, very pleased. It's set for ratification next Friday. So good faith. We're hoping it's a go. And that's all I have for this evening. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Item 4.1, superintendent's comments.
Good evening, President Troutman, members of the board, our student representative, Patrick, AKA Bryant, our community and people watching and listening. So I have quite a few things, so I put a timer on myself tonight. So I want to start with Major Buckner. Today we had our young students out today. And so it's always good to see that. And I just wanted to, again, I think I did this last time, thank Major Buckner for what he does because he's reaching students at every level, elementary, middle, and high school. He's imprinting on thousands of students and they do such a great job. So thank you for that. Next, there's a lot of things going on at the sites as you guys have heard today. I don't have a lot on that. But I do want to say girls flag football. I have not got out yet, but I'm hearing great things. I definitely want to go see. I hear that they're not playing around. They're there for business. So that's awesome. And then the last beginning comment I have is regarding you, Mr. Caldron. Okay, that's tough, sir. That's tough. So this is what I want to say. We've met, you talked, and you brought up the concern about other students in your classes that had challenges because of language. And you mentioned tonight in your report that you created a club. What that is, that's action. We can talk about a lot of things, but when we do something, that's when we start to change what's going on. So I'm very proud of you. So that's a great start. So very proud of you, Brian. Next, and so I'm gonna flow through these next things. A lot has gone on since the last board meeting. We had our first district-wide booster club meeting. And so that was well attended. It was at Coombs. And this is what I want to say about that, is that there's been a lot of things that have changed over the course of time. And in Banning, we have not always followed processes. But what happens when you start to follow processes? People get upset. People go, it wasn't like this. We used to be able to do this, and now you're not letting us do it. The reason why we change things is because we're trying to create an environment where we have structure, where we have high expectations, where we have high accountability, where we keep ourselves out of legal trouble. And so because of that, we met as a team, and we had Ms. Carrie Shook, Carrie, who's extremely knowledgeable. We had our secondary principals there and our business department supporting that. And the meeting went very well. That meeting could have drastically went a different way quickly. So I always envision in my mind like the pitchforks. People are coming, they're coming, they're coming. But it went very well. It was very engaging. And the goal is to be able to share how we support students. And we're going to work through that process. So I'm very proud of the team for setting that meeting up and moving forward. Next, Saturday school. Saturday school started, I think, last Saturday, and we had a great turnout. I don't see Dr. Merlos here, but I want to thank him for bringing a new perspective, but also our sites, our principals, our staff that show up on a Saturday after they've been here Monday through Friday to support students. I want to thank them for that because we're trying to do our best to support students. Since then, we've had a budget meeting, a safety meeting, and it takes everyone's time, effort, and energy. Those aren't always easy topics, but Mr. Herrera and Mr. Shoref have led those groups, and we're going to continue going forward. that we will articulate what we're doing, answer questions, and get better as we go. The next thing we had was a parent advisory sense. And so I want to thank our parents, and we had students that attended. And again, that is a meeting where we gather input from the community and parents about what we're doing to see how we can refine our practices to do a better job. And the last thing I just want to mention is our association. So we both had Jennifer and Anthony speak tonight. And so I know this year we wrapped up negotiations a little later than normal, but we wrapped them up. And so I just want to say this, it takes a lot of hard work, time, and emotional, I don't know, I always call it like I gave a pint of blood through this conversation. But that's on both sides. It's working together to get a solution. I had a mentor. He was an expert in negotiations statewide. And one time he told me, he says, you know, negotiations is always hard only in two times: when the district has money and when the district doesn't have money. So what does that mean? It's always a challenge. Anthony just mentioned that. I think next year is going to be even harder because we have contract negotiations open. So I just appreciate both bargaining units working through that, because sometimes, as we know in this community, it can go bad quickly. But for the past 5 years, that is not what has happened. We've met, we've agreed, and we move forward, and we're stronger for that. So I just want to thank our associations. I want to thank our district team for all the time and work to get that done. Thank you.
Item 5, consent calendar.
The recommendation is to approve consent calendar agenda items 5.2 through 5.5 as provided. All matters listed under the consent calendar agenda are considered to be routine and enacted by one motion and vote. There is no separate discussion of these items prior to the time the Board of Trustees considers the motion, unless a member of the board or administrative staff requests that specific items be discussed and/or removed.
Do we have a motion and second to approve the consent calendar agenda as provided?
I move.
I second.
I have a motion from trustee Ruiz and a second from trustee Novales. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Hearing none, motion passes 5-0. Item 6.1, Hoffer Elementary presentation. I would like to invite our Hoffer principal, Ms. Ramirez, to share tonight's presentation.
I always test the one in the cafeteria too, just to make sure it's on. Good evening, Board President Troutman, members of the board, Superintendent Davis, members of cabinet, and our Hoffer and Banning community. I appreciate you coming out to support. I'm excited to be here to talk about all the great things that we have planned and happening at Hoffer Elementary. The right button worked, that's good. So to start off, we kicked off the year at the welcome back, and this is our team who actually made it to the picture. We had more team members who came, but it all starts with our team, definitely. And I do want to give a shout out to our Hoffer team. They've been amazing. They've taken on, our leadership team meets every week. They put in a lot of time and effort to make plans, and the rest of the team carries it out. So the things that I'm going to talk about tonight came because of our Hoffer team. So shout out to them. We always start with our mission, and I put both the Banning mission and our Hoffer mission because I wanted you to see that we are in alignment with what the board is wanting for our students, as well as what we want for our students. And our mission is at Hoffer, our mission is for our community of educators, parents, and students to motivate and empower all of our students to realize their full potential. Our goals that we set out also mirror that of the district. One, we want to see acceleration of student academic achievement. 2 is to cultivate a safe and healthy learning environment. And 3 is to increase parent and community engagement. And so just under those titles, you'll see some of the things that we had set planned. For academic achievement, one of the biggest things that we brought and wanted to bring to Hoffer was that universal access time and the small group instruction. And we even, we were able to do this. The check mark means that we've done it. It started, it's in process, and it's going great. So we even named it Appaloosa Academy because we knew that Hammerline had Mustang U and Central had the Central Ponies. And so we wanted a fun name for Hoffer as well. And so we've named it, and we have both a time for ELA and math, 30 minutes every day for ELA is dedicated for that ELA small group instruction and for the math instruction. Intervention was a little bit different this year, but we were able to make it work. We wanted to focus our intervention on building the reading skills. And so our intervention / coach, she's done a beautiful job working with the teachers and planning out how this is going to happen. And she's been able to implement it with our students. We also wanted to move towards inclusion. And so our mild, moderate SDC class is now fully included into the Gen Ed classroom, and the Learning Center teachers and staff, they do 30 minutes of the small group pull-out services, but they also provide a lot of the push-in services. So now our students are receiving the support in their Gen Ed classroom as well. Students are also grouped by ability level and split across the grade level. So a lot of our grade levels share their students and group the students with the enrichment activities and then the students with the activities at their level and the students who need that extra support. So it's a lot more focused. And we have ELA in the morning and math in the afternoon. Another way that we wanted to build our academic achievement is building teacher capacity. And so we use our instructional coach in the afternoon. She does the coaching, and in the morning she does the intervention. She helps with our PLCs that happen on Thursdays when a label takes the students. The teachers really get to focus about 2 hours, an hour and a half to 2 hours on whatever we have provided for them. We've started with the schedules and lesson plans was the first rotation. This second rotation, we just finished designated ELD. This next session, we have the report cards and the ELA planning. Coming up, we've also had some JET embedded training for the Jane Schaefer. So one of the new writing curriculums that we have, we've implemented that into the training and support for the teachers. Some of the ones that are still coming up, we have iReady, Write Score, which is to support the writing for our students with the CASP, and then also the Renaissance or AR. As well as, it's not on there, but the Irvine Math Project, we are going to be utilizing the department chair teacher at the high school and have her come in and support the teachers with implementation of that new supplemental curriculum. For our last thing in building our academic achievement was focusing on our 3 AVID goals. Those are still in progress. What I can say is our leadership team meets every week, and once a month we do our AVID. We focus on how we're going to build AVID and rigor in Hoffer. And of course, with all this work, we want to celebrate our students. And so we have already planned out our trimester awards, perfect attendance party for each trimester, our iReady growth celebrations, and our students of the week. So these are the ways that we are working to celebrate our students and their work. And here is a picture. This is actually in the top left. I did include the view because Hoffer has the best view of Banning. We've got the mountains behind us. But in the top left, you can see our first student group that we celebrated. And in the bottom right, you can see our Wednesday flag ceremonies. We do that every Wednesday morning. We'd love to have you come and spend the time with us in celebrating our students. So celebrations, the reason why that one's there and following the academic achievement is because it's one of the ways that we can build the climate and culture, which was goal number 2. We have the Wednesday flag. Every Wednesday, we get in our green, our Hoffer green. We come out, celebrate as a school. We also have new this year classroom social contracts, and 2 of our teachers went and they learned how to implement these into the school. We taught them to the teachers at the beginning of the school year, and the teachers started the contracts with their own classes, and we have our staff one as well. This has been a great way to discuss what we want to see with each other and hold each other, to that. We also have new expectations posters in the top right. You'll see our PBIS team last year developed these, and we have them now throughout in every classroom and throughout the campus. Our fifth grade teachers, one of which is here tonight, they are starting a student council group in order to prepare our students for to have our student voice this year, but also to prepare them for the ASB at Nicollet and then to the high school, and to one day hopefully hold a seat right here with you at the board meetings. We have our PBS rewards. That's another way that we are building the climate and culture, daily morning and afternoon circles. So in the top left corner, you'll see an example of this. That's one of our kindergarten classrooms doing their morning circle. It's just a time to have that social emotional learning built in. And that's our PBS morning slides that our PBS coordinator develops for us. We also have our counseling. Mr. Ryan Diaz has been a great addition to the Hoffer team. He is amazing. That's him in the top left. He is providing responsive services, peer mediation, our other means of correction, crisis intervention. He's doing small groups and individual sessions with our students. He actually leads the Student of the Week during our Wednesday flags. That's the student involvement in the student council. And then he's also working on providing the classroom lessons and helping build our school-wide activities with the SEL curriculum. And then our third goal, community and family engagement. These are the things that we set out. We wanted to develop a parent group, and we actually have one of the teachers that's helping to build our parent group, Mrs. Smith. She's helping us to build that, as well as recruiting volunteers. So if your parents at Hoffer, we want you to come and join us and to come volunteer and help lead some of the events. And we are planning more family activities and events for our community to come and be a part of Hoffer. So we'd love to have the community and our families. Achievements so far this year. So we've had a successful first family event, which was the back to school night. Kona Ice came out, Nothing But Cakes. That was a little fundraiser that helped us. We also had Dr. Blake Brandis come out and do a growth mindset assembly for the parents. We've established our school site council and ELAC committees. I promised them breakfast with our meetings. We've aligned our PBIS procedures. We have PBIS raffle tickets. That one's just getting off the ground going. We attended the Stagecoach Days. We've had the dress up and our parade to, again, align ourselves with the community. School beautification. I know that a couple of you were able to come out and see some of the things that we received. The new paint. Thank you for the new paint. It looks beautiful. We have window decals and banners throughout the school, and there's still more to come. We've been able to get the teachers ELA and math supplies. We've held our first successful STEAM day. We just held that last Wednesday, and we are continuously improving on our STEAM days, and there's more to come for sure. We've held our first Saturday Academy of the year, and that was successful. And we've held our first successful catalog fundraiser. And we're excited because we have a lot more fundraising this year that's going to help bring in a lot more that we can provide to our students. So coming soon, or still in progress, our Hoffer Harvest Festival is coming up. We have more fundraising. We have pudding cups and signs that will be going up for the beautification. There's playground updates, the garden that's coming. We have a teacher working on that. A new parent group. Like I said, we have it started. I know that at the end of the year, it's going to be really big, and we're going to have a fun little name for it. Calming center supplies are coming to the classrooms, again, to have that the SEL materials in the classroom so that the students don't have to leave the classroom to get the supports that they need. More PBIS strategies and training coming up. Our student celebrations are coming up. We have an incentive room for students to be able to earn as rewards for positive behavior. Our turkey trot, we have a fun little surprise on that one coming up, and then a wellness room for staff as well. And as I end the presentation, I'd like to end with the two of the things that we say every day at our announcements is 1, we are Hoffer, 2, we are Banning. The other one is that we are a team. And as a team together, everyone achieves more. And that's because we and our students, we deserve it. And so we're here as part of that team.
Thank you. Did anyone have any questions?
This is very exciting. I mean, I love all of this that you just showed us, and thank you very much. It's very exciting. I can't wait to get over there and see. I didn't have an opportunity to go, so I can't wait to get over there and see it. I was kind of wondering, and you probably have this answer, it was just not part of this, but teaching across the curriculum, the math and the language arts, are we incorporating those in science and social studies as well?
The science and social studies is incorporated into the ELA and the math.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
And our STEAM Day, we actually, this year was a little bit different. We focused on a science or math standard as, in choosing what activity that the teachers were going to present or work on with the students. They had a standard that started the activity of what they were going to teach.
Mhm. Oh, great.
So
Thank you.
that's an addition to our STEAM days.
I like it. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Any other questions or comments? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Item 6.2, Business Services District-Owned Property Presentation. I would like to invite Mr. Herrera to share tonight's presentation.
Good evening, Board of Trustees, Board President Troutman, Clerk Reese, distinguished board members, members of the district leadership team, and the community joining us here today in person, and those through the wavelengths and or other digital platforms. Today, as part of one of the board's inquiry in gathering additional information on the district's unused properties, did go through a bit of a scavenger hunt here with the district team to find out a lot more information as it relates to the properties that are currently owned and currently being or not being utilized on educational purposes. And so first, we'll go through very briefly, and we'll go through every single property in a little bit more detail. Is a total of 7 different properties that currently are unused. Out of those, one is actually not vacant. It is the 210, 221 San Gorgonio location where there's a storefront there and there's an adjacent park next to it. Altogether, the district does own a total of 40.26 acres. The acquisition price was about $1.9 million. Current assessed valuation, according to the Department of General Services, is $2.8 million. And there are assessments as part of the unused property, which I'll get into in just a second here. And you'll see that information to the bottom right for the last 3 fiscal years. So in terms of just fees associated with unused sites, as one of the concerns that was brought up, there are currently no actual property taxes assessed by the Riverside County Treasurer's Office. And that is because of how the mechanics behind the local control funding formula. It's really actually passed on to the state if we go into the details of that breakdown. The Department of General Services, within that, there's the Office of Public School Construction, known as OPSC. And OPSC does assess the properties because they're unused every 2 years. And so for last year, it's a total of $10,201. And for the current fiscal year, expectation is an assessment of $10,894. Currently, all sites that are owned, that are unused, are not allowable for the waiver because they're currently not being utilized for educational purposes. There's some rationale in the acquisitions on the properties, what I'll just get to in just a second here. In terms of just property insurance, based on the total value of all district properties, including structures, and the premium, it's roughly about $1,200 on an annual basis. And I do have here today, Mr. Ken Page, speaking on behalf of Mr. Ingrosso that couldn't make it here tonight to speak on the maintenance aspect of our properties and to touch base on some of the properties that we do own.
Good evening, President Troutman, distinguished board members, Superintendent Davis, Banning community as a whole. Let's talk about the maintenance of our vacant properties. We do an annual weed abatement twice a year. We clear the properties of all weeds and trash in the month of May and October. We do all this in-house with our own labor, and the cost of that is roughly $6,500 for all properties twice a year. Site number one, as Mr. Herrera spoke to, is 210 and 221 San Antonio Avenue. That is what we call the furniture store, and it's the parking lot right across the street. We recently refurbished the parking lot, re-asphalted it to make it safe for Central to be able to utilize it as parking, and it's for overflow parking as well for the district office when needed. We also have currently started using the furniture store with this past year. What we've done is we've consolidated all of that equipment, furniture, and things that were being stored in various locations and also in public storage units, and brought them to this location, saving the district money for no longer paying for the public or the storage units that we were renting. But it's also given us a central location so we can inventory the furniture and the equipment we have that can be reutilized for those sites that need it. Site two is Westwood Avenue, just north of Lavelle Street. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
I have a question. I have a question on that first one. The furniture store, is this correct? Are we paying $7,080 for the taxes for that,
That
for
would be,
this?
Mr. Herrera would have to answer that.
Are we paying $7,000 a year for that?
We are, it's not property taxes, it's the assessment for having the property not utilized on educational purposes. However, because we started using this location and we can identify it now as a true warehouse based on just the configuration and how we're utilizing it, we wouldn't be paying this assessment moving forward.
Okay, we won't be, but how much, do you know how much we were paying on storage before?
Yes, it was an estimated cost of $8,000 a year.
Okay, $8,000 a year, and we purchased this for $554,000. And then we've been paying $7,000 plus the insurance on it and the maintenance.
Correct. So part of the, some of the plans that I've revised from the past in terms of the facilities, it was to work through the acquisition of not only the parking lot, which came with the storefront, but also there is a single family home dwelling that is right north of that diagram there. And it was to create some kind of way of having a smooth path of travel for vehicles. So there was a plan to acquire the property, not necessarily for storage, but rather really the parking lot and expand Central Elementary in terms of its facility some years ago.
So we purchased this 5 years ago with the plan of enlarging Central?
Correct. The expansion of Central and creating a more safe easement in terms of just to be path of travel for vehicles.
Okay, so when, do you know when that's going to take place? This seems like a very expensive storage plan.
Absolutely. This is again, this is acquisition happened a few years back, and that was the plan. Part of the plan that cannot be controlled is the acquisition of a private home that is just north to that property. And so again, at this point, not only is the acquisition of the home necessary, is also securing the funds to move forward with an expansion of Central Elementary.
Okay, do we have any idea when that's going to take place?
At this point, don't have a timeline when that home would ever be sold, if it is sold. And also don't have the funds secured at the moment.
Okay, so we purchased, I just want to kind of understand this in my head. So we purchased a furniture store and a parking lot. We hadn't we had not purchased the house. So this is not able to be utilized other than an expensive storage shed at this point?
Well, it is a storefront that's utilized for warehousing some of our surplus equipment, but also the parking lot has been graded and asphalt has been added just recently, and it is utilized for parking because we do have some parking challenges over at Central Elementary.
If I can just add this, so that storage front can be used for other things. However, because we really don't have district space for like a training, a learning facility, we really don't. We use Coombs North, we use the high school, but we really don't have appropriate space. However, in order to do that, we would have to invest, I don't know how much money into that storage front to build it up to the place where it's usable. That is something that can be done, but that's something that would have to be planned out, and we would have to determine where we would get the funding to do that. So that is a possibility for the future, depending on what the board would like to do.
Okay.
Site number 2, Westward Avenue, just north of Lovelow Street. It is a 10-acre site, which would be ideal for future development for expansion as district needs. Any questions for me? I'll turn it back over to Mr. Herrera at this time.
Okay, and so now we turn the page over to sites listed as number 3 to 6, which are west of Banning High School. That is a total of 27.36 acres that are not only adjacent to the high school, but also will be adjacent to the Rancho San Gregorio development that is expected at about over 3,000 units of single-family home dwellings there to be built in the next few years. And so there is a potential here and was part of the district's plan some years ago to have the expansion of Banning High School and or the potential for a transitional kindergarten to 8th grade school site built here, as there will be an increase of need for student housing with the development, and also would be it would be great to have a TK-12 one-stop shop area of facilities for students within walking distance from the development. Again, this is all just why the parcels here were purchased in the past based on the information that we did find. And currently, we are in discussions in terms of what are the impacts of the residential development and overall student housing needs. Last but not least, in a very unique property here, and maybe Mr. Baker has more information on this than I do at the moment in terms of documentation based on his collective memory, is that the former site for Cabana Elementary was located just south of the freeway there. The street there is Ramona, I believe. This is where the former Cabazon Elementary site was located at 2.53 acres. What's very interesting that is currently not listed as an unused property for the district because it is still owned by the Cabazon Elementary School District. And so we'll be working through the process of making sure that on the legal aspect of it, it does belong to Band Unified. And so working through the process again, of gathering documentation and ensuring that this is then listed as a Band Unified School District property. And so in terms of surplus property process, it is known as the 7-11 Committee. And the reason for that committee name is because it's no less than 7 members, but no more than 11 that are composed of a specific structure. It is a highly legal process, so we would have to contract with a legal firm that has expertise in public real property, highly regulated by state compliance, does have to follow public bid process. And so this is just a quick summary of what that would entail should the board decide to explore options on how to maybe dispose some of the property that we currently own. And so with that, are there any questions? Would like to also thank you for your time, and every opportunity that I get from here to November 5th is a plug here on the district's initiative for Measure O to help improve our local schools.
I do, thank you, Mr. Herrera. I do have one question. The property insurance is $1,259. Is that based on just the usable property right now, or are we insuring all of the vacant property? Is that it?
If I'm understanding your question, is the cost here associated with all the unused property? Is that correct?
Or is the majority of it the 210 to 11, the building?
It would, the majority of it would be attributed to that because it does have the facility tied to it, correct? Vacant land premium cost is not as large.
And that's including liability and everything.
That is correct.
So, Ms. Navales, I don't want to leave this, and I hate doing this, but I want to go back to the storefront. So pending board direction, if for that storefront in that space, if the board wants us to direct to come up with proposals in terms of what to do with the space, to sell it, keep it, come with a proposal to spend money on updating it, we would just need direction from the board. That doesn't necessarily have to happen today, but just for clarity's sake, that is what we would need.
What is the square footage of that building?
It is 0.37 square feet, excuse me, acres altogether. Don't know the conversion off the top of my head. The half of it is the actual parking lot itself.
It's almost like the size of this room. It's been a while since I've been in there. There's different spaces, but it's
Roughly about 20,000 square feet.
Oh,
altogether.
It would be the size of this room along with the foyer in that area as well.
okay. Thank you.
An acre is 41,000 square feet. That's correct. Yeah, so it's roughly about 15,000 altogether.
So I guess my question would be, I'm curious why we're holding on to that old Cabazon lot.
Well, there hasn't been this discussion and or the intent to sell any of the property at this point. Again, should the board look into wanting to surplus the property, we can go ahead and go through the process of composing the 7-Eleven committee. But first, we want to make sure that it is legally owned by the district. So we'll have to go through a process, quick claim deed on that, and make sure that we have the legal rights to move forward with any action with that property.
I'm curious about that one as
Right.
well as the furniture store.
Right.
Yeah, those two have my interest. Just because it's an empty lot and I'm sure we spent quite a bit for weed abatement in that
Right.
area because it's an empty field. So that'd be good if we can.
Yeah, altogether annually, we're spending about $6,500 in all vacant properties for weed abatement.
So if I may, I would be interested in seeing what else we could use the furniture store location for it to be more efficient and beneficial for our district. I'm not sure if other board members would like us to move in that direction just to have some options.
No, I think so too. I think that these are conversations that we need to have.
So if we're able to just start somewhere,
Conversation on
Definitely.
it.
Yeah.
if everyone's good with it.
Yes,
Yeah.
I agree.
Well, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Right.
Item 7.1, Educational Services, Annual Board Resolution number 25-011 and continued funding.
This item is for the board to adopt Board Resolution number 25-011 and approve the California State Preschool Program continued funding application for fiscal year 2025-26.
Is there a motion and second to open and discuss item 7.1?
I move to open and discuss.
I'll second.
Any discussion or questions? No. I have a motion from trustee Ruiz and a second from trustee Martinez Lara to approve item 7.1. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. Hearing none, motion passes 5-0. Item 7.2, Educational Services, District Quarterly Report on Williams Uniform Complaints. Are there any questions? No. All good. Item 8.1, Human Resources, Tentative Agreements and Memorandum of Understandings with Banning Teachers Association.
This item is for the board to approve tentative agreements and memorandum of understandings for the 2024-25 bargaining negotiations with Banning Teachers Association.
Is there a motion and second to open and discuss item 8.1?
I move. I second.
Any discussion or questions? No. I have a motion from trustee Anguiano and a second from trustee Novales to approve item 8.1. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Hearing none, motion passes 5-0. Item 8.2, Human Resources, Tentative Agreement and Memorandum of Understandings with California School Employee Association, Chapter 147.
This item is for the board to approve tentative agreements and memorandum of understandings for the 2024-25 bargaining negotiations with California School Employee Association, Chapter 147.
Is there a motion and second to open and discuss item 8.2?
I'll move. I second.
Any discussion or questions? Okay, I have a motion from trustee Martinez Lara and a second from trustee Anguiano to approve item 8.2. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Hearing none, motion passes 5-0. Human Resources Academic, 8.3, Human Resources Academic Calendars.
This item is for the board to adopt the academic calendars for the 2025-26, 2026-27, and 2027-28 school years.
Is there a motion and second to open and discuss item 8.3?
I move.
I
Oh.
second.
Any discussion or questions?
I was just curious, do we always do it by 3 years, 3 academic school years? Or is just?
No, it was just proposed by BTA, and we talked about it, discussed the calendars, and came to an agreement.
Okay, just curious.
I do know that parents get anxious
Correct.
because of vacation times and that, so I think a good practice is like 2 years ahead to have them done. That way families can
plan.
kind of, yes, can plan.
No, I understand. I agree with that. I was just curious because it was 3.
And we'll get them on the website.
All right, I have a motion from trustee Martinez Lara and second from trustee Ruiz. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Hearing none, motion passes 5-0. Item 8.4, Human Resources, Point Loma Nazarene University Memorandum of Understandings.
This item is for the board to approve the Point Loma Nazarene University Memorandum of Understandings for the 2024 through 27 school year.
Is there a motion and second to open and discuss item 8.4?
I move.
I second.
Any discussion or questions? No. I have a motion from trustee Novales and a second from trustee Anguiano to approve item 8.4. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Hearing none, motion passes 5-0. Item 9.1, Business Services, Public Disclosure, AB 1200.
This item is for the board to approve the public disclosure AB 1200, Banning Teachers Association and CSCA Chapter 147 tentative agreements for 2024-25.
Is there a motion and second to open and discuss item 9.1?
I move to open and discuss.
I'll second. Any discussion or questions? No. I have a motion from trustee Ruiz and a second from myself to approve item 9.1. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Hearing none, motion passes 5-0. Item 9.2, Business Services, Arvin USD piggyback bid.
This item is for the board to approve the utilization of Arvin USD piggyback bid number 2023-24-012, school furnishings, office furnishings, and accessories from Sierra School Equipment for the 2024-25 school year.
Is there a motion and second to open and discuss item 9.2?
I move to open and discuss.
I second.
Any discussion or questions? Okay, I have a motion from trustee Ruiz and a second from trustee Anguiano to approve item 9.2. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Hearing none, motion passes 5-0. 9.3, business services, notice of completion, Tony Painting.
This item is for the board to approve the notice of completion for Tony Painting as part of the Banning Unified School District office painting at Nicollet, Hoffer, Hemmerling, and Coombs as part of the curb beautification project during the summer of 2024.
Is there a motion and second to open and discuss item 9.3?
I move.
I second.
Any discussion or questions?
No, it looks great.
I was going to say thank you.
I have a motion from trustee Novales and a second from trustee Martinez Lara to approve item 9.3. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Hearing none, motion passes 5-0. Item 9.4, business services, contractual agreements.
This item is for the board to approve and/or ratify contractual agreements as provided.
Is there a motion and second to open and discuss item 9.4?
I move to open and discuss.
I second.
Any discussion or questions? No, okay. I have a motion from trustee Ruiz and a second from trustee Anguiano to approve item 9.4. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Hearing none, motion passes 5-0. Item 9.5, business services, monthly fiscal services reports.
This item is for the board to approve monthly fiscal services reports, bank reconciliations, purchase orders, warrant summary, and commercial warrant registers.
Is there a motion and second to open and discuss item 9.5?
I move.
I'll
I
second.
second. Oh.
Sorry. Any discussion or questions?
I do have a question. I don't remember in which document it was, but there were 2 line items for laptops for substitutes, substitute teachers. It was a good chunk of money, and so I'm curious what the rotation or how those are going to be implemented for our substitutes.
Yes, so we want to be able to provide some additional devices for any teachers who are having difficulty with existing devices or who need updated devices. And the plan is to be able to have the older devices on hand and ready to go for our substitute teachers. That is part of a long-term plan to roll out devices for all staff. And so we were trying to start where there is the greatest need before transitioning to a plan where we will eventually provide updated devices for all certificated and classified staff.
And so it's not just for substitute teachers? Because I believe the line item stated substitute teachers. So I'm just curious, like, how many did we get? How are we going to divide them up among the sites? Like, how are we
Yes.
going to ensure that there are some for our substitute teachers that come in? And what if they're teaching
Yes.
theirs?
Right. We do want to have an allotted amount of devices for substitute teachers per site, but the devices will be for certificated teachers. So they'll get the new devices and then the replacement or the older devices. We will ensure, and Mr. Barriga, you can also chime in case I'm missing. But we want to make sure that there is a certain number of substitute teacher devices that will be available at each site. But we do need to ensure that the new devices will be going into the hands of our existing teachers as the priority.
Okay, so we don't have right now devices for our substitute teachers then?
No,
Okay, so we're working on it.
yes.
Okay, thank you.
So the purchase of the 60 devices is to replace the certificated staff at Hoffer, Hemmerling, and Cabazon Elementary Schools. Yeah. The purchase of these 60 devices is to replace the certificated staff devices at Hemmerling, Hoffer, and Cabazon Elementary Schools. Then we will allocate those used devices for the daily substitute staff that at each of those school sites, as well as the other school sites. So it'll cover all of our 8 school sites for daily subs.
I just was thrown off because of the name that's on the purchase item line, because it said substitute teachers, but it sounds like it's for our current.
It's going to provide us with a replacement cycle for the existing staff at those school sites, substitute teachers, as well as provide us with a stock of devices to provide staff as they wait for either replacement or repair on their device as well. We don't have an inventory of devices, so these used devices will be able to provide us that.
Okay, I'm just curious because of the wording, so maybe we
Understood.
can be more careful with that, because
Understood.
I was under the impression it was gonna be for our substitute teachers
Got it.
directly, like the new purchase.
Understood.
All right, thank you.
Any other questions or comments? No? Okay. I have a motion from trustee Anguiano and a second from myself to approve item 9.5. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Hearing none, motion passes 5-0. Item 10.1, board members' comments. Would anyone like to start?
Good evening. As always, thank you guys for hanging in there with us. It's not as late tonight, so yay. I am really excited about all the events that I'm hearing that are happening at the sites, and I'm hoping to get out to see some of them. Not to copy Mr. Davis, but I would love to go watch a girls' flag football game and see how they do. And I am really excited and interested to hear more about the club, Mr. Calderon, that you are beginning for the students that do not speak English as their primary language. That is also a passion of mine, so I'm very interested to hear how that goes. I hope everyone continues to have a great school year, and thank you.
All right, I'll go next. So I want to reiterate what Ms. Ruiz shared. It's really exciting, everything that's occurring throughout our district. I was able to witness the Hispanic Heritage performance at Central, and it's always amazing. And you just feel immersed in the culture. So kudos to all of our staff and our students and their families that helped it make it happen. I'm excited for this month. I believe the Nicolette band is going to be joining the high school band at a football game. And I know my son and his friends are super excited to be part of that and be with, the older kids, right? And looking forward to what they can do as they move up the grade levels. So it's really exciting that we're showing that promise and that hope and excitement for our students, because they have so much to look forward to. And it's thanks to all of us and everything that we do. So thank you so much for everything that you have done and continue to do for our district. And as always, I'm here and available if there's any questions, and thank you.
I want, excuse me, I want to piggyback on Ms. Sanguiano and Ms. Reese, and also Mr. Davis. I'm very excited also about your proposal. I used to teach into English when I first started teaching, so it's exciting to see that students are taking on that role. Students with students, I think that's very powerful. I love the synergy that is being created in our district. I think, like Mr. Davis said, the procedures and policies and programs are long, hard fought for, but they are creating balance and security and a direction that that's only going to propel us into a very positive future. So I want to thank you all for doing your part in this. It really does take a village for our children, and it's very exciting to see. And congratulations on your new promotion. I'm looking forward to seeing what's happening, and that's going to be very exciting to see for our SPED district, for our SPED program. So thank you.
It's been exciting to see all the pictures of all the events that the kiddos have been putting on and participating in.
I also got to see the Heritage for Central. Their performance was so much fun. I got to go volunteer for my TKers class, and the little ones, they're so tiny and cute. I can't wait to see what these kids have in store for the rest of October. It sounds like a lot of fun is coming their way. Thank you all, as always, for showing up bright and early and staying very late for all our kiddos, for our community. We truly appreciate it from the bottom of our hearts.
I just would like to thank everyone for their hard work that they continue to do every single day, be there for these kids. Mr. Worthington, the kids are gonna miss you at the school site, I know that. And I know we're gonna miss you in that position, but we're glad to have you where you're going. And I hope everyone has a really good night. I'll keep mine short. Item 11.1, future board items. Does anyone have any?
I do. I was hoping maybe we can discuss about having summaries for our safety and our budget committee meetings, since I know not all of us can always make it to those and there's only 2 assigned. But I think it would be helpful just to have a summary of the main things that were discussed so that we're not in the dark. I don't know how everybody else feels about that.
And then
but
about the
I
metal
would like that.
detectors, how that went. I'm curious how that went. I thought,
Discussed it yesterday, but I wasn't at that meeting.
okay,
But yeah, the summaries will. be
yes,
better.
perfect. Anything else?
Yeah, I know.
Nothing.
Okay, we are skipping item 12 and 13 and going straight to 14, adjourn meeting. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I move to adjourn.
Second.
I have a motion from trustee Ruiz and a second from trustee Novales to adjourn this meeting. All of those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Hearing none, motion passes 5-0. This meeting is adjourned at 8:39 PM.